kind of confusing for everybody. So slowly but surely, all the nicer areas of Amsterdam are becoming very international. But yeah. It's not that small and limited to 3 years? Okay, yeah. I don't really know the details, man. I don't really follow it all too much. I'm just repeating what other people have told me or what I've heard on the internet. But there's not as many Dutch people living in Amsterdam anymore as there once used to be. Then again, Amsterdam is not that nice to live in anyway, so, you know, just go live somewhere else. We have a lot of cool cities, dude. It's probably like living in Washington, D.C. Like, it's probably nice, maybe, but... Okay, the stuff is a lot darker now. I think Amsterdam is kind of nice to visit, I guess, but it's not really... I don't know, doesn't seem like that fun of a place to live. Maybe it is fun, I don't know. I've never really lived in like a city. I don't really get the appeal. I know there's some people out there that absolutely love living in cities, but it just seems very expensive and noisy to me. Don't really understand the reasoning. Yeah, it definitely depends. The ping times are low? That's a good point. Most servers that I play on are located in Amsterdam. Most gaming servers are there, man. Sometimes it goes to like Düsseldorf in Germany or whatever, but... I remember when we went to Amsterdam with friends, we were sleeping in our cars in a parking lot and we were woken by cops. Yeah, you're not allowed to sleep in your car in the Netherlands. That is technically not allowed. Not that it's really enforced very much, I don't think, but they're not actively trying people to, they're not trying to encourage that sort of thing. I think it's illegal to run out of petrol in Germany. Nobody has ever run out of petrol for fun. Okay, let me rephrase. Very rarely do people run out of petrol for fun. You can make something illegal, but you know, that doesn't really change much. Running out of petrol is illegal? That's funny as hell. It's rare, but never 0%. I guess that's true. Car breaking down is illegal? Right. What do you know? What do we want to do? I'm using the most hated paint in the world. This came with the starter set of paint or minis that I bought once upon a time. It is called Corax White. I want to give this a shot because I just want to do the edge of the blade. But this is probably the worst white that I've seen people complain about more so than anything else. I remember using it once And then I read on the internet that it's the worst paint that they make, so I figured I'm never gonna use it again. But I'm gonna use it again today. Well, I don't really want it to be too opaque. I just want it to have like a nice white edge on the weapon. Supposedly this is one of the worst paints you can have though. It's on the internet, so it must be true. That's how it goes. Oh my God, Toby's going crazy downstairs. Oh my God, can you hear him? I don't think you can hear him on stream. I'm just asking if I can hear him, you guys can probably hear him too. Because my ears are not very good, but. Is it because you're Dutch that you always say that zealots smoke weed? What? Oh, a joke I make in YouTube videos. It's the High Templar. It's because they're high and they're Templar and zealots are also Templar? It's not that deep a joke. It's not that deep a joke. Let me see. I feel like I don't really love the weapon. It's all right. It's just not great. It's not too green. It's not the colors that I don't like. I don't like the blending. I feel like it would look nicer without, or with a little bit tidier blending. It's just difficult for me to relayer because I don't have the right colors for it. I don't have that bright a green. Shit, dude. What's up with Toby? Toby! Toby! Come! Het is er met hem aan de hand? Kom. There's absolutely nothing. He's just whining. Oh, he is just bitching. Is Brian off? No, Brian's not off. Brian is very much so on, dude. Everybody here loves Brian, okay? Dutch sounds like Elvish. It's true. Me and Laurent came up with our own language. I think I'm gonna do some very diluted contrast over all of the the weapon. Not exactly sure. You think you just saw legs? How is that possible? Streamers don't have legs. Sometimes cats just do this thing, man, where they're just complaining for no reason. Toby is just meowing like he's got something going on in his life. Like he doesn't live the perfect life. Like I live a pretty great life, but I would still trade, you know, with mine or with Toby for like a day or two. I think it'd be fun. They have very high expectations. I asked Lauren, wat is er met Toby? Wat is er? Wat is er met Toby? Does that sound weird? What is er met Toby? Yeah, he meows for attention a lot, but he gets plenty of attention. Not really the issue. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of diluted painting over the weapon. I don't think it's gonna really smooth out the blends though. I do have a little bit of this. I don't know if this is the right color. Do you think this is the right color? Maybe it is. We'll give it a shot. I think it's actually, maybe that's good. It's a very bright green. Oh, it's perfect. Holy shit. This is the only green that I have that's this bright. I wanted to try and mix my own, but this is very brightly colored. But I think it works. Let me get a tiny little bit of this on the palette too. I have to do some glazing. My one green color coming in clutch. Huge. Okay. Yeah, it's like a pea color. If your pee is that color, you should consider seeing a doctor. No, like green peas. Maybe I like it that way, Ramble. I enjoy it when it burns. You're judging a little bit, I can tell. What's going on, Rocketreon? Okay, I do like that better. You're doing all right? Cool, nice. Oh, I'm glad I got this color, dude. Dylan actually gave me this color. I haven't had much opportunity to use it. Remember when Dylan sent over the minis? And then he also sent me a few colors that he wasn't using anymore because he doesn't really like the Citadel paint range. Coming in clutch! I've been watching a few videos on how to paint this guy. I mostly follow along here with what I saw the War Hipster do. He has some really nice videos. But I don't follow every step. So I'm kind of just trying to do my own thing. But if you are looking into painting this guy, you should definitely check out War Hipster. I think he's done a really nice job with basically every video, honestly. I think his videos are really nice. Can highly recommend. I think I like that a little bit better. Yep. Okay. I'll add a little bit of the brightest green over here on the side. Because it's a nice color. It seems to fit well. Am I even keeping this freaking guy in the camera frame? I feel like I keep moving him away. Sorry about that. If I have been. Sometimes it's easier to paint really close to myself. Or at least that's what I naturally do. Okay. I have to add a little bit of a glowy glow over here to the orbs, and then we'll do the base and we're done. We're actually kind of... I feel like it's kind of almost finished. Wow, this has actually been speeding by very rapidly. I feel like it... I didn't think we were going to be able to get close to finishing this guy today, but here we are. I may go back in and do some finishing touches at some point, but... So I want to add a very bright green on all of these little orbs that are around his body. In order to make that extra bright, since the paint is quite transparent, I want to make sure that I have like a nice bright base coat. So it will show through a little bit better. Just when I think I'm a huge nerd, I put on Lowko's stream and he puts me in my place. Thank you, mate. Welcome. Are you trying to suggest that painting little miniature soldiers is a nerdy hobby? Is that what you're saying? It is quite nerdy, I will agree with that, but it's also really fun, man. I highly recommend it if you're looking into trying something new. No shame, dude. I think this is yeah, it's really fun. I can highly recommend it if you're into trying out new things. What hobby is peak nerd? The nerdiest hobby I think is probably LARPing. LARPing is probably the nerdiest thing I can come up with. But you know what? If you want to LARP, go LARP. Fuck it. Well, you're absolutely a nerd, Grimdy. How are you doing, Grimdy? Hope you had a good time, man. You LARP? That's toxic? Well, I mean... Are you trying to suggest that you're not a nerd, Grimdy? You just got back from Anime Con. Are you trying to suggest you're not a nerd? Nah, you do whatever you like doing, man. I don't really give a shit. If you like what you do, it's all good. Okay. I'm gonna do some Black Legion on all the plates, which is gonna make them pretty dark. The plates at his feet. Hope you had a good time, Grimdy. How was the event? Was it good? No, we're not gonna do nerd shaming on this channel, guys. The only people we shame consistently is Protoss players. No, actually, we don't do that either. Actually, yeah, a little bit maybe. The event was great. You already posted photos on your Discord? Nice. I haven't seen them yet. Yeah, what is the S tier? If you had to like make a nerd activity playlist, what is the S tier? What are the S tier things? I think LARPing personally is pretty high up. Miniature painting is definitely pretty high up too. I don't think it's quite S tier. Maybe. Dungeons and Dragons? You think so? I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is pretty mainstream. You think painting is more nerdy than Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know. Railway miniature builders? Okay, yeah. I can kind of see that. Train spotting? Train spotting is also very nerdy, yeah. I saw a video of a train that was getting retired in the Netherlands. And when it made its final stop at a train station, there was a crowd of train spotters that were very sad to see that train retire. They love trains, dude. Train spotting is definitely up there with nerdy things. But hey, if you want to spot fucking trains, dude, who cares? Go look at trains. No, it was just a regular train. Like, just a regular train that we use all the fucking time. It wasn't a royal train or anything. You were recently at the train museum? You saw that exact train? Yo, let's go, dude. I knew you were kind of a big deal, but I didn't realize you were that big of a deal. Huge. Hey, what is going on,
money
Thank you so much, man.
Sauce.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Capri. I think the cape turned out well. I'm very happy with it. You visit those places to make them feel important? Uh-huh, sure. You wouldn't admit to liking those sort of things, right? That would just be cringe. I think I'm gonna need like maybe 1 more hour tomorrow to finish this guy up. We're very close to finishing it. But I don't think I'm gonna rush it right now. I don't think that's really worth it. So we'll do like maybe an hour or so of mini painting tomorrow to wrap up this little guy. I want to redo the parts on the blade a little bit more. There's some tiny little scarabs as well on the base. Can't really see them very well, but we obviously have to do the base too. This is my very first Necron I've ever painted. I'm not painting an army, this is the very first Necron. I've never painted one before this. Yeah, I want to redo some of the green bits. And I'm thinking also actually maybe adding a little bit of basing material on the bottom. Mostly because that shit takes ages to dry. Yeah, no, the orbs still need painting. All of the orbs still need painting. I'm not gonna finish it up today. I just kinda wanna finish up the section of the base that requires drying. So I'm gonna use some of the technical paints. These are cool because they crackle when they're drying. It's just that they take a long ass time to dry. So if I put them on right now, it's gonna take a bunch of hours to cure, but it will be done by tomorrow. If I just scoop this on real quick, you can kind of scoop it around a little. Should be okay. You can leave like a little bit of a bigger splotch as well in some areas. Yeah, it looks really cool when it's done. It'll look real nice when it's done. Kind of like the China will grow larger. Kind of like the, yeah. Looks promising. Kind of like the bulldozer from Command & Conquer Generals. I don't have an army, no. I don't necessarily only want to play with Warhammer. I just really like the Warhammer minis that they have. I think they look sick. I saw some of a game called like Infinity or something. Those look pretty cool too. Not gonna lie. I just want to paint cool miniatures, man, and I think the Games Workshop can be criticized for many things. But they do create some kick-ass minis. They're just a little expensive compared to some of the other ones out there, I guess, but if you wait for sales and stuff, it's kind of manageable. I do think it's kind of cool that there's such a big Warhammer community though out there. That does kind of make it a bit more appealing to me. A lot of people that are painting the same miniatures and stuff, and you can kind of see all of the hype of the new shit being released, and then, you know, people paint up the same miniatures but in very different ways. You can see all the YouTubers and stuff trying to create different shit. I think that's fun. Yeah, I also really like the lore. I think the lore is cool. Although I don't really know anything about Necrons. I do think the lore overall though is sick. Alrighty guys. This is where I'm gonna let this guy dry. It looks a little funky on the base right now, but when it's dried up, it'll look cool, I promise. I'm gonna try and wipe off some of the little... I've not been watching it, Gabe. I watched one little video of it, but I mostly just wanna... I don't really wanna spoil myself in a weird way, you know? Like, there's a lot of shit that I don't know about 40k. And about the Horus Heresy and all that, and like the completion of all the shit. So it's kind of fun to like experience it for the first time from the books. Even though there's a lot of shit that everybody knows about. There's a lot of things that I don't know, and it's kind of fun to like explore that as it comes, if that makes sense. So I am watching like a bunch of videos on Warhammer, but I'm mostly trying to only watch, like, say, like a book review, for example, when I finish one. I recently did a full playthrough of Command & Conquer Generals, Keith. So if you're interested, go check that out. The playthrough is up on YouTube. Okay. This is where I'm gonna let it dry. Good progress today. Very happy with how this guy is coming along. It'll be a little bit until he's fully finished, but I think maybe only like an hour or two. So we're giving this guy a little bit of time to fully dry. And I'll try and see if I can finish him tomorrow. Very good. All right, gamers. I continued painting Imotekh yesterday. And I'm pretty happy with how he's looking right now. There's still some improvements I want to make specifically to the weapon. Obviously the base has to be done. We're gonna have to do the rim today. But I know Twitch chat is a big fan of me painting the rim. I'm actually gonna try and tidy that up a little bit. It's a bit messy. Let me see. So I actually did several layers of the texture paint for the base. And ultimately I decided I'm gonna go with a different one. Because the one I had first off just didn't want to do, I don't know, it didn't dry properly, and it like had very large flakes. For some reason, it got pretty ugly. So I decided to cover it with an entirely different texture paint this morning. That's why it's much darker than what it was yesterday. Do the balls need to be painted? Yes, we need to paint the balls and we need to paint the rim. We have 2 jobs ahead of us. All right, enough. Jeez, chat, so thirsty. No. No. God, my palette is what's going on with my palette? It's a bit of a mess. We'll have to sort this out. I have a little bit of space over here, it'll work. I'm gonna try and brighten up the balls a little bit. We're gonna use a little bit of a different white, because the white I was using yesterday I did not like very much. We want bright balls. Yeah, so they take the color, because the color is kind of transparent. That way they take the color a little bit better. You got a new miniature? Which one is it, Eliminator? I can't really open Discord very well on this stream setup, because everything tends to break. You got a new mini too? Huge. You got the War Master Heavy Battle Titan? Yo. I came across a miniature today actually that I had never seen before that I think looks really cool. I'd never seen this thing. The Delac Spiker? Look at this thing. It's a Psyker Delac. So the idea is that these guys get pumped full of all kinds of chemicals and stuff to make their brains very large. Yeah, he has my forehead. That's a crazy miniature, dude. I thought it looked really cool. This is what happens when you hit the stim button too often. Why do I hear my neighbors? Oh, it's a dog. That's what's going on. Okay, so we want to base coat all of the balls. To be pretty bright. So they will be extra bright when we add the glowy effect. Gonna try and wrap up this guy today, by the way. As you may have already guessed. Doesn't have to be a perfect coat of white, but... There we go. Yo, have a good one, Echo. Take care. I want at least like all of the outward facing sections here to be very bright. I think that's a reasonable request. Okay. So he's got some balls on his weapon. He's got some balls on his outfit. Okay. Tiny little brush, but that'll work. Yeah, the weapon is a little bit messy. I'm not really too happy with how the weapon is looking. We'll fix that later. Okay, should be okay. There's a couple as well on his shoulder, but I think they're bright enough as it is. I think they're fine. Okay. Can I still use the paint from yesterday? This is the green that I used yesterday to relayer some of the weapon. I think that works. Still functional. Day old paint? Yeah. It tastes the best when it's a day old day. Sysadmin. The flavor becomes more developed, you know? You know what it's like. You're a fresh paint only kind of guy? That's kind of a flex, not gonna lie. That paint aged like fine milk. Milk is known for its amazing properties as far as aging goes. You have people that paint things for you? Damn, dude. I knew you were cool, sis, but I didn't realize you were this cool. I have to get my cosign painted. I don't know what the English word for cosign is, but I have to get them painted again at some point in this next year or so. I'm not gonna be able to do that myself. Cosign. No, that's code 9, Ramble. Close enough, close enough. You'll get the hang of this at some point. Okay. We need to do a little bit more of the Black Templar. Because while I was trying to fix problems, I also created new ones. What's going on, Telek? How are you doing today? I solved my problems by creating new ones. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me, by the way, to finish this today. I feel like I might be able to wrap it up relatively rapidly. I think I want to finish it up to a decent standard first, and then we'll try and do some more troubleshooting for some of the overspill and stuff. Relatively rapidly. Yes. That's my best way to describe it. You don't like it? I got some of the dirt right here on the rocks, which I don't think is really that bad, to be honest. It just makes the rocks look a little messy. Or a little dirty. There we go. There's a little section over here that I never painted. Okay. I definitely want to make sure that I add some different varieties to the color of the dirt. I also need to add a little bit of paint to the tiny little scarabs that are on the base. Yeah. There's a couple of tiny little scarabs on the base. I don't know if you can see them properly. There's like one tiny one over here, right above my index finger. And then there's a tiny freaking one over there too, right next to the edge of the weapon. That's just gonna be a little bit of silver paint. Don't need much. How are you doing, Talek? Hope all is well. God, this paint is so shiny. You know, look how tiny that little guy is and how shiny he suddenly is. Very nice. Your paint board where you put the paint looks better than your average painting attempt? That's incredible, dude. That's what your final product looks like, Potato Man? That's awesome, dude. Dude, I have so many things to do tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream. I think I don't know. It's not too bad. Like, a lot of the things I need to do don't take that long. Just have a bunch of shit to take care of. What's going on, Heiso? No, I don't play. I just paint. Just painting. No playing. Playing requires having friends. No, I don't play for, or I don't paint for the... we're gonna do a little bit of coloring on the base. That hits hard? Yeah. I don't think I really need to go too crazy with the coloring on the base, but just create a little bit of variety in the dirt. A little bit of Agrax. Yeah, there are definitely Warhammer streams out there, but it's not as common, it seems. Majority of people that stream don't play the game, but they play, they paint instead. I'm assuming it would be in the Warhammer category? I've seen it a bunch, but I don't really know exactly where.